Text. Men in Focus. Chapter 3. Socially Dominant Forms of Masculinity. Our watch acknowledges the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional owners of the land on which this video was produced. We pay our respects to all traditional owners past and present, and recognize the continuing connection Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have to land, culture, knowledge and language for over 65,000 years, and their leadership in preventing violence against women. Text. What is masculinity? The presenter of this video, Shane Tass, stands in the studio and speaks to the camera.
Masculinity is a set of ideas for how we as a society think men should be.
Text. Masculinity.
So how they should think, act and feel. This can change over time, and it can look very different in different places or communities. So we might hear our fathers and grandfathers talk about what being a man was like for them when they were growing up, and it could seem quite different to today.
Text. Masculinity changes over time.
Or the ways in which men express themselves in the things that they do can look very different across different cultures or places.
Text. Socially constructed.
Even within Australia. Even for one man, the ways in which he thinks, feels and acts can change throughout his lifetime. There isn't a universal model for how to be a man.
Text. No single universal model.
This shows that it's not something that men and boys are born with. Otherwise, we'd all just act and think in the same way.
Presenters, Sarah Hewitt and Shane Tass stand in the studio, talking to camera.
Having said that, there are traits and behaviours that are deemed more masculine than others and are more valued and given more power and authority in our society at any given time. These are what we refer to as socially dominant forms of masculinity. They are the traits and behaviours that we would recognise as being manly or masculine.
Text. Socially dominant forms of masculinity.
Men in Focus highlights that while there are many ways of being a man in Australia and in other similar contexts, men and boys feel social pressure to conform to particular ideas or stereotypes of masculinity.
A man symbol appears. Several other man symbols appear next to it, then disappear.
Things like having to act tough even if they're feeling nervous or scared, to be in control, to be hypersexual, meaning to always be up for sex and be actively pursuing sex, and also to be heterosexual.
The single remaining man symbol is surrounded by 4 lines. It is boxed in. Text act tough. Text in control. Text hypersexual. Text heterosexual.
Research shows that men who rigidly conform to these ideas are more likely to display sexist and violence-supportive attitudes and behaviours, and more likely to perpetrate violence against women and people of all genders.
A violence scribble illustration animates behind the man box symbol.
They are also less likely to intervene when they see other men being sexist or abusive towards women.
This does not mean that these ideas of how to be a man are always negative or a problem in themselves. For example, being tough and strong is important in some contexts.
A man symbol appears. Text. Tough. Strong.
Like when on the sports field.
An illustrated football bounces across the screen behind the man symbol.
The problem is when we attribute those characteristics only to men, and when men are expected to conform to those ideas of how to be a man all the time and in all contexts.
The line draws around the man symbol, creating a box with the man inside.
And where they're not encouraged to display the full range of human behaviours and emotions, such as being vulnerable, nurturing, caring, things that are typically seen to be more feminine traits.
Text. Vulnerable, nurturing, caring. Text. Supports available. 1-800-RESPECT. National Sexual Assault, Domestic Family Violence Counselling Service. 1-800-737-732. Men's Referral Service. Operated by No to Violence. 1300-766-6491. Australian Human Rights Commission. 1300-656-419. 13 Yarn. 1392-76. Sane. We're people like you. 1-800-187-263. Q Life. 1-800-184-527. This video is a part of a suite of Men in Focus practice resources produced by Our Watch and supported by the Australian Government Department of Social Services. Visit ourwatch.org.au. Our Watch. Preventing violence against women.